Hi guys, and welcome back to the IELTS course. In today's lesson we'll learn about new part of the IELTS exam and we'll learn about listening module. I will give you a brief overview to the IELTS listening module and things you need to know, but we'll specifically focus on sections 1 and 2 and how to complete these two sections successfully. And now we are going to review our IELTS listening module. Before we start learning different strategies and tips, I would like to give you a brief overview to the listening section. In the IELTS exam, you'll have 4 sections and 40 total questions. You'll be given 30 minutes to listen to the recordings and take notes and answer the questions. And last 10 minutes, you'll be given to transfer your answers to your answer sheet. In the IELTS test, you'll see 4 different sections, and in section 1 is going to be a conversation within a social situation. Your section 2 is going to be about a monologue on a general subject. Section 3 is going to be about a conversation between up to 4 people with an educational or training context. And the last section of the test is a section 4, which is a monologue, lecture, or academic talk. Most of the time, Section 3 and 4 are the most difficult ones for the students, so you have to really try to do your best when you are completing sections 1 and 2. Also, you'll see different types of tasks in your IELTS listening test, such as note completion, gap fill, short answer, table completion, multiple choice. Most of the time it has 3 different options, A, B, C, but sometimes you might see A, B, C, D as well. Also, you might have tasks such as sentence completion and labeling a diagram. Again, in listening test, you will have 4 sections, 40 total questions, and 40 minutes to complete this entire task. And here I'm going to explain what type of task you are going to have in each section and what kind of strategies we are going to learn. For example, during our course, we are going to learn general strategies for listening for words and listening for numbers. And we'll also learn specific strategies for each section. For example, in section 1, which is about conversation, we are going to learn how to complete a form, complete a table, choose answers from a list. In the section 2, which is going to be about a talk, we are going to learn how to complete sentences, label a diagram, plan or map, and also give a short answer. In our section 3, it's going to be about discussion. We are going to review how to choose answers from a multiple choices, label a diagram, and match words and phrases. And our final section 4 is going to be about a talk or lecture. And here I'm going to explain how to classify words or statements, complete notes, and complete a flowchart. And now we are going to review our first strategy of the listening test, which is a general strategy, and it's going to be about listening for words. Remember, when you are listening to different recordings in the IELTS test, you have to use the questions you have on your handout to focus your attention on the keywords as you listen. Remember, the most important part here is also to circle the keywords. And the most important tip is for you to remember that keywords are often stressed, and you need to listen for words that are stressed. And as you know, stress words always sound a little bit louder than the rest of the words. So here we have an example about a similar task. So here we have a following question. Choose 2 things that are included in the price of the hotel room. So in this case, the word 2 is emphasized. So you have 5 different options, A, B, C, D, and E. So from A, B, C, D, and E, 5 options, you have to pick only 2 things. So please pay attention when you are listening and circle the keywords, such as this one. So your keyword in this question would be 2 and included in the hotel room. So make sure you're listening carefully and always circling the keywords. It will help you to stay focused. Our next general strategy is listening for numbers. Our strategy for this task is to be familiar with different ways to express numbers. Remember that taking notes is very important, and whenever you hear a number, make sure to do that. Also keep in mind that when we have a long number, the intonation rises and then falls at the last number. Whether the number is an identification number, a date, or a price, there are different ways the number can be set. Look at our following example about dates. As you can see, November 24th, 2013 can be set in two different ways, as November 24th, 2013, or it can be set as November 24, 2013. And now we're going to review how to say price, time, decimals, telephone numbers, credit card numbers, and ID numbers in different ways. So as you see on the slide, we have price 1333, and it can be said differently. So you have to be aware of that, and you have to be able to recognize that number. So as you see, it can be said as the following: $13.33, or the speaker can say 1333. Next one we have time, which is 2:45. So the first example we have is at 2:45. It can be also said as 2:45 or 2:45. So next one we have, it's a decimals. So for example, when we have decimals, we can say it a little bit differently. So you have to make sure you know how to recognize this number. So for example, here we have 3.75. Also, we can say it as a 3 3/4, or we can also say it as 3 3/4. And the last one we have, it's about telephone numbers, credit card numbers, and ID numbers. So here, for example, you have a number, and this number can be set as the following: +15057539948, or we can say it as +15054753948. So you have to make sure before you take your IELTS test, you are aware of the numbers and how they can be said differently.